Okay, good morning students. The thing is we have discussed it in the last class about introduction of economics, what are that economic name is derived in which Greek word, what is the meaning of it, and what is economic activity, who are economic agents, and what are the production, what are the factors of production, and we stopped at that we have discussed up to the wealth definition in 1776. An inquiry into the nature and causes of wealth of nations will be discussed by the Adam Smith. Adam Smith is a classical economist and he is the person who has given that he will be called as a father of economics because he is the first person discussed about economics and he has given the birth. He is the father of economics. And that wealth, he is always that production of wealth, production he discussed. But there is another economist, the Alfred Marshall. Alfred Marshall in 1890. Alfred Marshall in 1890. He wrote a book, The Principles of Economics. Principles of Economics. So that Adam Smith, when the Adam Smith has discussed about the production of wealth, and Alfred Marshall is started discussion. It's a more different kinds of definition. Whatever is given by the Adam Smith, he has cleared that Adam Smith has given the production of wealth and he has given that distribution of wealth. Distribution of wealth. It is very important concept. That distribution of wealth, which was emphasized by the welfare, means whenever the wealth is taken by the your consumers, the consumers will use that wealth and will get the welfare. Means whenever the man is very important, he has given high priority to the man. This in ordinary business of life. And Alfred Marshall started talking in ordinary business of life. A man is very important. How he is going to use his wealth to get the satisfaction and to get the welfare. So he will get the welfare by using the goods and services in mankind of business of life. He will talk about only a material wealth. Material wealth means the goods which will be satisfying human wants, which will be a visible goods. So he has given like that. Now it is very important you should understand that Adam Smith discussed about the production of wealth. Alfred Marshall discussed about the distribution of wealth. Distribution of wealth. How he is going to distribute his wealth. That is very important. The Alfred Marshall definition is here. You should understand that the material goods are distributed among the public. So that what he is telling, Alfred Marshall. Now we are discussing about that Alfred Marshall, the definition in 1890, what he has given in the Principles of Economics. The major important points are, the first one is the important features of his definition. He always discussed as he has given high priority of the man and distribution of wealth. He is asking that wealth should be distributed for the welfare of the people. Welfare in the sense satisfaction and utility also can be considered. Here, the first and foremost, the important feature is economics related to man's wealth and getting using. The wealth is there, whatever it is. It is for the man. Man is not for the wealth. Wealth is for man. Man is very important. Man has given a high priority than the wealth. Wealth can be created by man. So wealth should not be given the high priority. That first priority should give the man. Then man can use the wealth and he has to get the satisfaction. The next one, economics, is in the social science. In a society, individual and society, how he is going to use in an ordinary business of the human life. How he is going to use that wealth for the satisfaction of human behavior. That is very important. The next one is the promote material welfare. When people are using the commodity, it should be used, and he has to get the promotion, means he has to get more and more satisfaction, more and more utility. The wealth will give utility to a human. So human is very important. Economics is similar like a physics. See how the physics is keep on changing. The human nature also change. When once if one want is satisfied, another want will be rises. Like that, the man will satisfy one want, another want will be raised, so that the wealth will be used for the satisfaction of the human wants. Importance of man and welfare. See, the wealth is very important, but more than that, man has given the high priority. So the wealth should be used by the man, and man should get welfare. But whatever the features, the Alfred Marshall, of course, it is one of the important definition. The welfare is also one of the important definition, but it is also criticized by the so many people. So please note down all these things, so that next I am going to discuss about the criticisms of the welfare definition, which was given by Alfred Marshall. Pause it la.
Adding more.
So we discussed about the features of Alfred Marshall. Now I am discussing about the criticisms of the Alfred Marshall. Alfred Marshall, that definition was criticized. Economics is the human science rather than the social science. Actual economics is the social science. But because he is talking about only humans and he is connectivity with only man importance, that's why it is called as a human science. So he is so many economists are not accepting the Alfred Marshall definition is considered as a social science. Next one is, it's a classificatory. Classificatory in the sense the goods is not classified. Which goods will give satisfaction, which goods will not give satisfaction, like that. So the materialistic, non-materialistic. Another thing is very important. The goods will satisfy human. Satisfaction will get not only from goods, the services also. Doctor services, teacher services, CA services, chartered accountant, or the driver services. So many services also that will give satisfaction of human wants. So he forgot. Only he talked about the material things, he never bothered about the services which is rendered to the satisfaction. So that is the other thing. The next one is the quantitative measurement of value. It is very highly impossible, because that he is telling that if anybody is consuming any commodity, he will get that quantitative in number, in our cardinal numbers, he is measuring the satisfaction or utility. But it is not possible. You cannot measure the utility. It is subject to. The person to person it differs. Maybe some people are interested in apple, so he will get more satisfaction. The some people does not interested in apple, he will get less satisfaction. You cannot measure the satisfaction in number. So you should understand that he is giving that quantitative measurement by using the cardinal numbers, which is highly impossible. You cannot measure the utility by using the numbers and all. All goods cannot promote the welfare. The goods and services, only goods will promote the services, he said that. But all goods cannot give. Alcohol is there, cigarettes are there, drugs are there. Those goods will not give any kind of welfare. Those also comes under the category of goods only. So the which goods will give welfare, which goods will not give welfare, he could not able to bifurcate. And last one is that the scarcity, see, that always limited. The commodities always limited. So this is the scarcity. You cannot get every commodity whatever human being wants. It is highly impossible. That's why wants are unlimited. To satisfy wants, the resources are limited. There is the capture, which is depends upon economics. So this is the criticism. We already discussed important features of the Alfred Marshall, and this is the criticism. Now let us discuss about the scarcity definition. Now let us discuss about the scarcity definition. The scarcity definition was given by the Leonard Robinson. Leonard Robinson is one of the famous economist. He is a Nobel Prize winner, and he has given very good definition that it is universally accepted definition. It is a scientific definition. So many people are accepted this. Of course, Alfred Marshall definition also that supported by some of the people, and the Adam Smith definition also supported by some of the people. That that the scarcity definition in 1932, an essay on nature and significance of economic science. He has given that. The major points, the major important things, he said that the human wants are unlimited. The first one is human wants are unlimited. Human wants are unlimited. Once if one want is satisfied, another want will be crop up. The human wants are unlimited. This is a man is a social animal, as Aristotle said that a man will be always thinking that he wants to get something like that. He never stop that. He is always. So here that human wants are unlimited. A man, once if one want is satisfied, another want will be crop up. The man will never sleep, and even sleep also, he will have some dreams. So a person who is a living thing of a man will always have one after one wants. The wants are unlimited. It may be a different kinds of wants, but any kind of want he wants to have it. The next one is the resources are limited. Resources, also called as means, are limited. So that to satisfy human wants, the resources or means are limited. Want will be referred as an ends, and resources means a means. It is in between. It is a man will be economics will talk is a neutral between the ends and resources, scarcity resources. So the limited resources, when he is having a limited resources in the sense maybe money, maybe factors of production, land, labor, capital, organization, whatever it is, that to satisfy human wants, all can be called as resources. So these resources are very limited. So the first one is the wants are unlimited, the resources are limited. But these resources are having alternative uses. Resources are having alternative uses. Third one. Resources are having alternative uses. See, alternative uses means any one commodity may be having number of uses, then it can be called as uses. Alternative uses. If one thing can be used in number of uses, but when you are using for one purpose, other purposes are sacrificed. That is called that alternative uses. So here there are three things which are the human wants are unlimited and resources are limited, and another thing is that when we are having this alternative uses, land is there. For example, land can be used. You can construct a hospital, you can construct a college, you can construct a building, house, you can construct a factory farm. But once if you are using for one thing, the other things cannot be used. So you should understand that resources, whatever the resources are there, they are having more number of uses, but if it is using for one purpose, other purposes are sacrificed. Then you have the choice problem. The fourth one is choice problem. See, when you are having resources are there, but when the resources are limited, your wants are unlimited, then you have to choose which is very important and urgent. As per urgency, resources can be used to satisfy your wants. These are the major important features of the scarcity definition. This scarcity definition is also having the superiority of the scarcity. There are three superiorities of the scarcity definition. Now that that superiority of the scarcity definition. Scarcity definition is very important. I said it is universally accepted. The first superiority is non-classificatory. It is a non-classificatory that so many people have accepted this definition, and this definition has given the high priority that the focus on scarcity. Focus on scarcity, promoting. See, everybody wants that. Everybody is having a limited resources. Everybody, even rich people or poor people, whoever you may be, all the people are having a limited. So the universally accepted. This definition was accepted by universally. Universally, all the people are accepted this definition. And next one is neutral between ends. See that he is always wants to have that wants and satisfy their wants with the availability of the resources, and the choice problem will be there. Everywhere it will be there. All the people, you take anybody, they will have a limited resources, and with the limited resources they will go and they will have to satisfy the wants, whichever emergency they will distribute their resources, maybe money, means or whatever it is. It's a positive side. It's a positive side. He never bother whether it's good or bad or has no value judgments. A man is having a want that he should satisfy with that want. He wants to have that. So these are the superiority of the definitions of the what you call scarcity definition, which was given Lineal Robinson. I am repeating that it's a non-classificatory, universally acceptable, neutral between ends, and is a positive sides. You should understand this. We have discussed that what is the main features of the scarcity definition and superiority of the definition. And now let us discuss the what do you call the criticisms of this definition. So now we are discussing about the criticism of the scarcity definition. There is a lot of criticism that against to that Lineal Robinson definition. There are so much of criticisms as there. The first of all, the welfare definition. He is already added the welfare definition because what he is telling, the resources are limited, wants are unlimited. When he is choosing the problem, means almost whatever the Alfred Marshall said that, the same thing he also said that there are people are telling. What is the difference between this? The resources are using. Here also that Alfred Marshall said that the commodities will be used by human beings, he will get the welfare. He is also telling the same thing. Man, human wants are unlimited, satisfaction and other things. Next one is difficult separate ends and means. See, it is very difficult. You cannot separate the means and ends. It is always combined. It will be exist. Next one is economy is not a neutral between ends and the positive sense and normative sense. See, here that man will always, he is telling that whatever the want is there, no value judgments, he will use it. But whatever the norms in the society, there will be a lot of norms are there, morals are there. You cannot deny all those things. The man wants to have that and he will have satisfaction and that's all. No, that's not like that. You will always think because he is combinedly living in a society. He is not an individual. Man is a part of social society. He is a social animal. So like that. It is not applicable to a dynamic society. There is a growth economies are there. Dynamic society. It will keep changing. So whatever the wants are there, they can create the resources and they can develop like anything. The time to time it is changing. So then when the developed economies are there, suppose one resource is exhausting, the another resource they are research and development and finding and using it. So it cannot be like that. Next one is resources will not be scarce always. You cannot say, see, the people are there, so money that is a resource. Money will not be limited or resource always. As that his services are increasing, skills are increasing, the money also increases, the salary also increases. Money will be, handful money will be there, with that he can satisfy his wants. He neglected the growth and dynamic. See, he is always telling that only thing, the human wants are unlimited and resources are limited and choice problem. But he never bothered growth, economic growth will be there. As per the growth, that resources also will increase, increasing resources also will satisfy human wants. This is the scarcity of the definition. Today we have discussed about that Alfred Marshall definition, the Alfred Marshall, the important features we discussed, and criticisms we discussed, and Robin's definition we discussed, and criticisms and important features also discussed, that superiority is also discussed. My dear students, if you like my lectures, please accept it and share it. Thank you one another. Please subscribe it and share it to all. Thank you one another. And I am sending my name. I am sending. The thing is, if anybody is interested to take home tuitions, I am ready to take home tuitions online or offline. You can take my number 9949019436. Again, it will in the scrolling. My number will come. Please, I will give my number in description. Please, 9949019436. Thank you, one and all.